Alrighty, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in and welcome back to another episode of the Going the Distance podcast. My name is Ryan Bonnell, and alongside me is my co-host Elijah Span. We had a hell of a weekend of playoff football. We're going to be covering all of that and some NFL coach talk at the end of the episode. It's going to be a little bit shorter than our normal episodes. We realized as we went live, there's a major playoff game happening at Monday night in 45 minutes. So we're going to try and do our best. What was that?
I said we can't compete with that.
Yeah, we're definitely not going to pull your eyes off of that. So we'll do our best to get you out of here by kickoff because, of course, we also want to watch the game as well. We got some action on it, I'm sure. But anyway, we're going to be talking about basically every single game from Wild Card Weekend, breaking it down, giving our takes. But first, before we really get into anything, be sure to follow us on social media over at GTD_sports. Other than TikTok, where we are at gtdsports.com. You can check out our personal accounts. I'm over at Ryan Bonnell 8, and Elijah is at Elijah Span 19. And last but not least, head over to our website, gtdsports.com, where you can find all of our other podcasts on our podcast network. And but first, before we get into any football, we got our highlight and low light of the weekend. Elijah, what's going on?
So my highlight of the week is I move into my new apartment next week, and I'm really excited. So I'm going to pay for it myself, and I'm going to live completely on my own. So
dude, that's scary.
It's sick. So, not much else. So on Thursday, I'll have a new background.
I'll be sick. Oh, it's on Thursday already.
Yeah. So, actually tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah. Damn. Tomorrow I'm taking a full day of work, and I'm getting the keys during my lunch break. And then I am off for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and moving in. So,
oh hell yeah, that's nice. Yep. They gave you time off to move in.
No, I had my own time off, so I just used it for that. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where in Austin? Like, are you gonna be? I don't know. I don't really know Austin too much.
I'll be south of downtown, so South Austin ish. So
Are you close to the Round Rock Donut place at all?
Round Rock is like northern Austin. So right now I would probably be decently close because I'm more north. Right now I'm like just north of downtown, probably 10 minutes from downtown right now. But I'll probably be getting to like 15 minutes downtown south the other way. So
I'm just geographically challenged. I also don't know Austin super well, but I love every time. It just made me think of it. Every time I drive home from Austin, I always stop at Round Rock Donuts because they have literally the biggest donut in the country. And it's amazing.
Right. Hell yeah.
All right, what's your low light you got?
So my low light is obviously the fucking Cowboys. There's no other way to say this. It's my low light. I tarnished. I'm utterly destroyed because even when, and I said it too, like win or lose, Cowboys are the best show in town. I said that on Thursday's episode, and sure enough, I thought it was going to be a blowout after the first quarter because the Niners' first scoring touchdown was like, as soon as that hit, I was like, oh fuck, like that was way too easy.
Yeah,
and then we went 3 and out, and I was like, oh, this game is going to go awesome.
Not a good start. I remember you texted me too, like as soon as it started, you're like, well, that's it. That's game. Like, I was like, oh, I don't know. They made it interesting though.
And then they made it interesting and they reeled me back in. I already gave up hope. And I was like, oh no, wait, like we could do this. Like it's going to be blah, blah, blah. Like we're going to win. We're going to go to the next round and we're going to give the Bucs trouble because the Bucs are banged up and blah, blah, blah. And fucking no, just
cap.
Disappointment. Just disappointment. And it's who we are now. It's who we are. We are chokers. It is in our DNA. Ever since our last Super Bowl in the playoffs.
It has kind of turned into that, yeah.
We're gonna lose. It's literally who we are. It was like that with Romo. Now it's been like this with Dak, and it's just sad. And
I have this ready for love it or loathe it at the end of the episode, but now it just seems fitting. I might as well mention it. The Cowboys now hold an NFL record for 11 straight playoff appearances without making the NFC Championship game.
Yep, I know that. And I've seen that stat now a couple times, and I don't like it. And I just
it is what it is. Hey, I mean, I saw the Bengals playoff stat for literally my entire life. So that'll go ahead and transition us into my highlight, which should be pretty obvious. My highlight is that the 31-year curse of the Cincinnati Bengals is finally broken, and I can experience joy as a football fan again. Like part of me, because I really wanted the Cowboys to win. I'm not a Cowboys fan by any means, but I had 3 units on them, so I was rooting for them. I was pulling for them hard, and also because I wanted to maintain the illusion of a possible Cowboys-Bengals Super Bowl.
Plus, which would be sick.
Yeah, it would be fucking amazing. But plus, like right now, I kind of feel like bad just being like, oh, we won. We're great. Because like I feel bad the Cowboys are out. But at the same time,
no, enjoy your moment.
We haven't been able to do this, bro. I was honestly about to cry when we won. I was so happy, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was so scary, bro, too. They made it a hell of a game. But before we're going to talk about the games in a sec. My low light, though, for this weekend is my sports gambling has been fucky. Not like, and I say fucky because it's not like I've been losing all my picks, even though I went on a super cold streak yesterday. But I've been having this bad habit of where I'll make, because I use the Action Network, the app to like track everything, and I'll make my picks on there. And I'll be like, okay, I like these ones. I'll track them. And then I'll be like, all right, I'm going to go place them before the game starts. And then I either fall asleep, get distracted with something, and then I just forget to place it until the game starts. And it's like every time that happens, the bet would have won. Every single time, I swear to God. Like every time. And then I'm like, I try to make up for it. So I'm like, let me just pick these two. They both lose. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like it's just been so fucky. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's gambling for you though.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the worst too, is you're like, oh man, like I totally would have placed this, or like you remember to place it at the exact last second, and you're in a mad dash to place it, and you see it, and you put in your how much you want to put, and you hit send, and it's like selection no longer available.
Yeah, it's like the game has started,
and then it hits, and you're just like
pain. Sometimes, depending on the game, I'll like go immediately to live betting and just try and get it.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't work though.
Yeah, sometimes like the lines are even worse.
Yeah, it'll be off by like a point and a half, something. And you're just like,
I've also had multiple times where I've like raged and gone to live betting to like say the team was like -3 and then they were like -3.5 live betting. So I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm still taking it. And then they win by 3. And I'm like, God damn it, dude. Like
I had my live betting worst nightmare this weekend.
Oh, wait, yeah, you told me a little bit about it. What happened?
So Baylor was down by like 11 against OSU late.
Oklahoma State.
I think 5 minutes were left, maybe 7. And so I checked the live betting. I saw Baylor plus 6.5. And I was like, you know what? Baylor's good. It's college basketball. Crazy shit happens.
They're number 1. Yeah, shit.
So I put like 46 to win 40.
Okay. Was it spread or money line, you said?
Spread plus 6.5.
Okay, that's a good bet.
And of course, it was a great bet.
It's a phenomenal bet, I think.
And Baylor comes roaring back. And they're down within 1 with like a minute left. And all of a sudden, Oklahoma State just puts on a show. And they come all the way back. Now they're down 5. Baylor's down 5 with 10 seconds left. They get the ball. They try to score in fast break. There's a turnover. They toss it to a guy. And he could just run out the clock and I hit my bet because they're down 5. Instead, he decides to go for the show off, fuck you dunk. And Baylor loses by 7 and I lose my $50.
That is actually the fucking worst, dude.
It's probably the worst beat I've ever had.
That's definitely like across all sports, like a last second useless dunk or something is one of the worst ways to lose a bet. Whether it's like the over, under, spread, like that's the worst part about betting basketball.
It is funny too because I was with a couple of work buddies and we were at B-Dubs watching the Bengals game and stuff, like gambling, like throwing down different live bets and shit. And like I was like the only one that took that bet. And they were like, "Oh shit!" Like, and they just watched me die inside. They just started because I screamed "No!" like right in the middle of B-Dubs, like loud as fuck, and they just started laughing at me. And I was just like, "Oh, this sucks."
Dude, it's the worst, bro. Yeah, and also I know that too, that like awkward feeling of like I never know what to do in that situation. I guess, you can roast them, but like I just feel bad. Like if somebody loses the bet like that, I'm just like, I feel you, bro. Like I'm not gonna make fun of you because I know, dude. I know how it is.
My buddy bought me a shot. He was like, "Here, take a shot."
That's nice. That's
yeah,
nice.
and I was like, "Thanks."
Oh, dude. So. But let's go ahead and get into some of these games, though.
Yeah, let's do it.
First up, I think we should go ahead and start with your boys, Cowboys Niners. So for those, I assume, if you're listening, you probably watched football, which is why you're here. So the Niners won that game 23-17. And really the main thing to talk about from this game is the last play and the controversy surrounding it. So before I give my take on it, and for those that are unfamiliar with it, the last play of the game, Cowboys were down by 6 with 17 seconds left on, I believe, close to the Niners 40-yard line. So almost in field goal range. But instead of running a quick play out of bounds or taking a shot at the end zone with no timeouts, the Cowboys ran a quarterback draw up the middle, to which Dak slid. They tried to spike it. Didn't happen in time. There's a lot of controversy as if the ref should have been there sooner or what's going on. But I have my opinion. I'm curious to hear yours, though, because, you're a hometown kid.
The ref straight up tackled the guy. But, I mean, Dak should have also given the ball to the ref. Yeah. I don't know. I'm still in shock. I don't even know.
That's how it ended.
Once I saw that and I saw the clock hit 0, I just emotionally detached from reality there for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Or I just completely voided all feelings. Like I became a emotionless shell of just, oh, okay.
Like, oh, that's how it's going to be. Okay.
Yep.
Sick.
Yep. I'm going to watch this replay for years and years of Cowboys playoff blunders, and that's what it's going to be. And we fucking lost. It was the best Cowboys team that I've seen in 5 years, and it's over. And it's infuriating that's how it went out. But we also, I think, it would have been a lot different of a game. I can't guarantee that we would have won, but it would have been a lot different of a game if we could have just had fucking penalties. The penalties.
Oh my God. Yeah. The penalties were fucky. It definitely, the holding penalties, there was a few potential encroachments that could have been called that weren't. It was weird.
And it's been like this all year. The Cowboys have been getting screwed by the refs all year. Exhibit A, the Raiders game.
Oh yeah. I remember the Raiders. There was one other that was really bad. The Cardinals was pretty bad too.
The Cardinals was pretty bad. And it's just I think half of it was the refs and half of it was us being undisciplined. So I'm pretty pissed off about that. Just because that is easily the most infuriating thing for a fan, to have a good team but commits penalties. There's nothing worse to seeing your guy
undisciplined.
Just let's say Joe Mixon rips off a 30-yard run, but on the other side of the field there's a holding penalty that had nothing to do with the play. That happens to Cowboys 5 times a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? True. It's oh my God. And it's just
So on a positive note, I mentioned, I heard you mention how this is the best Cowboys team in the last 5 years, but they just couldn't get it done playoff. I think, and I could be wrong because nothing's for certain, but it looks like they're going to maintain most of their roster, especially all their key guys. Even if they don't have Zeke next year, they'll have Pollard. So
Zeke will stay unless we cut him.
That's what I was about to say. Is I think he's destined to stay, but
yeah, he makes too much money in jersey sales.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zeke's old, man. He's washed.
There is also one aside from the penalties, there was one play that really changed the game and could have decided the outcome of the game if it didn't end the way it did. But I forget when it was. It was 17-6. The Cowboys were punting after a really frustrating penalty. Like you said, they got a first down and a penalty brought them back. They had to punt. And then the Niners got called for roughing the kicker. Cowboys got a free first down there. If that didn't happen, because they were deep in their own territory, they punted to the Niners and they scored again, it would have been GG's right there, said and done. But that flag kind of gave them hope, gave them a chance.
Right.
So that's also interesting to look at. But I think in terms of the last play, well, actually, before I go, do you think that was the right call to run the ball? Aside from the refs.
I liked it.
Really?
I mean, I don't know, man. I'm not an NFL head coach. I'm just a fan. It got 30. It got what 20 something yards.
It did get a lot of yards. I mean,
it's kind of the right play. It just got screwed by half a second. You know what I mean? Maybe Dak should have went down 5 yards earlier or what? Because that would have given him one shot in the end zone. There was already 14 seconds in the first place.
17 when he hiked it.
17 when he hiked it.
Yeah.
Look, I didn't hate the play call. I thought it was badass when he started ripping off that run.
Okay.
Most people are gonna disagree with me on that, but I respect it. I thought it was a bold play call. I thought the Niners definitely weren't expecting it, but yeah, I don't know.
So we got
maybe the ref got the ball quicker.
We got a couple comments. First one says Cowboys had more offensive yardage taken away by penalties than any team in the NFL. Is that based off of one, just for that single game, or you mean this season?
This season, yeah.
Wow. Okay. And then we also, same comment, Dak slid too late, but the ref was out of formation by 25 yards. See, that's my take on it. So whenever I first was watching it and the game first ended, I was looking at all the reactions on Twitter. I was kind of they did it to themselves. You know what I mean? They ran it. They kneeled it. What do you expect? You know what I mean? Or not kneel, but slid. But then I watched the replay. And the Cowboys fans are right. I mean, that ref was lined up on the 50 fucking yard line, 30 yards back, trying to run by the time he hiked the ball. He was definitely out of position. But does that necessarily warrant anything? Does that warrant they should have had that last second on the clock because of the bobble and miscommunication between the ref and co? And I also thought originally, these are professional football players. They should know the rule that the ref has to touch the ball before, you can hike it.
Yeah, Dak should have known that.
And they shouldn't have touched it like that. But also, the ref did fucking bump into him and almost tackle him. So I
feel like there should be a stoppage of play. But that when has that ever happened?
Yeah,
so there's no rule. I can't say refs should have made up a rule on the spot. I'm not gonna say that, but it just kind of sucks and it's just unfortunate that the refs are playing a part in another Cowboys game this season. And it's just hopefully next season is different, but it feels like every big Cowboys loss, it has something to do with the refs. I mean, you could go to the Des caught it. You could go,
well, not ever, but yeah, this year there has been, but major playoffs, I guess. Yeah.
And you could go to a big one that comes to my mind is too many men on the field against the Packers. When we had at a crucial moment, then we didn't get a third down, which gave Rodgers the ball back. And when they ultimately beat us, Dak's rookie year, that was another one. And it's just man, history repeats itself with Cowboys playoff games.
I was thinking though, of course, if this happened to any team, of course it's the Cowboys.
It's the Cowboys.
There's gonna be so much on both sides, whether it's fuck the refs or you did it to yourself, kind of point of views all over social media. It's been blowing up about the Cowboys game.
Mm-hmm.
And with the play call, I get what they were trying to do. I think it would have worked in 9 times out of 10. You just run the ball, slide it, spike it, and then you have one shot at the end zone. That's it. But I just think it probably would have been a little bit smarter of them to try and throw quick out route. Outside, gain 10 yards, maybe even 5 to 10 yards, get a little bit closer. But then again, you'd still have to take that one shot deep. So
is what it is at this point. I've kind of just accepted it, and I'm just kind of blocking out anything I see about that game right now. I'm just
Fair enough.
Avoiding any headline. I'm just you know what? I don't even care.
It is over. Can't do anything about it now. So moving on though, from a low end to high end, we got the Bengals and the Raiders. Where the Bengals. Oh wait, we got a comment that says, "Can you give a shout out to my boy Muscle Man Big Boy, newest quarterback in the NFL?" Yeah, shout out Muscle Man Big Boy. Okay, interesting name.
All right, nice NFL my player name.
All right. Anyway, though, Bengals Raiders in the AFC. You guys already know how I feel. We already talked about it a little bit, but the playoff drought is over, baby. It's time. It's a new era in Cincinnati. Joe Burrow is officially the savior of the franchise now. I've been saying it all year, but now I can finally coin that term. He's the savior of the franchise. It was a hell of a game. Bengals came out on top 26-19. Bengals were in control for the most part, but then that fourth quarter got really testy, got really exciting there at the end, and it all came down to one final drive, one final defensive stop, and it was huge.
Yeah. What do you think about the controversial whistle?
Joe okay. Yeah.
Out of bounds.
For those that don't know, there was a play where Joe Burrow threw a touchdown pass, but he was rushing, scrambling towards the sideline as he went, and he threw it right before stepping out of bounds. The ref blew the whistle as it was happening. So, personally, I think it should be a touchdown. But, of course, I'm fucking biased. Like, I saw a lot of people on the Raiders side complaining, though, because very vividly in the NFL rulebook, it says if a whistle is blown mid-play, the play is dead. Like, that's the call on the field. The play is dead.
Right.
But after the whistle, they talked about it, and they were like, nope, it's touchdown. So they changed the call on the field to a touchdown, which helped in the review. But, I mean, if you watch the review, he was clearly, yeah, like a foot at least in bounds. So it's hard to say because, yes, the whistle technically trumps everything else. But I don't know. I think they made the right call to just go with it.
And it looked like the cornerback kind of gave up after he heard the whistle.
That's the only thing. Yeah, is it looked like a couple of people stopped.
But did you also hear that the refs will not be in the playoffs anymore? Like, they're done for the season because they're like, that you're trash. Like, because that's a big mess up. Like, he was very clearly in bounds. Like,
yeah.
And then it's like, also, what do you do with that situation? I don't know if the refs made the right choice or not. It's kind of just one of those things where it's just like,
so somebody's going to be mad either way.
It is pretty frustrating that football is the best sport to watch, but the refs can have so much more of an influence on an NFL game than any other sport, probably combined.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I guess, yeah, because especially like with pass interference calls in the NFL, right? I mean, shit, dude.
I mean, NBA it happens sometimes with fouls, but it's pretty clear in the NBA what is a foul and what's not.
Well, also with the NFL, you get the ball like 6 times a game, 7 times a game.
Right. And then like baseball, the only thing that is impacted is the strike zone, and players are supposed to adjust to the umpire strike zone. Other than that, like it's pretty clear what a catch is in baseball. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and like whether you're safe or out.
Yeah.
And they review that now, so like.
And soccer, I think the only controversial ruling is like what, offsides, and now that has like VR cameras.
VAR.
Yeah. So it's just so like that refs can have this much of an impact and can fuck up this bad, especially in playoffs. And they've been so bad all year.
No, yeah, it has. There's been a lot of bad. I do think it's pretty funny though that none of these refs are coming back, which makes sense though. I mean, I get it. Like, why they don't deserve it at all. I don't know though. I think that wasn't as. What do you think was worse, that blunder or the Cowboys situation?
I mean, I don't know. I don't really have. They're not really comparable.
Yeah, they are different.
I mean, that was in the third or fourth quarter.
I think it was second, actually.
Was it?
Because it was 23-13 at halftime. Or no, it was 20-13 at halftime. Both teams only scored 2 field goals in the second half. So yeah, it had to have been the second quarter.
My buddies had the under on this. Anyway, let's see here. Hold up. We're getting blown up with comments here. Yeah, Harrison Morta, can you give a shout out? He's still talking about Muscle Man. Recently got a sex scandal with the Minnesota Vikings. Did you hear about that? He was caught sleeping with one of the players' wives, Neckgrass Tyrese. I don't think Minnesota Vikings won't play in the NFL this year. Good grammar.
I was about to say sick English.
What is your opinion on the situation? I really want to hear your opinion on the topic. I think you're hilarious. That's my opinion. Moving on.
So my question.
Are we staring at Bengals AFC Championship game right now?
I mean, I personally think that we can beat the Titans. I think that was the ideal matchup was we play the Titans. We needed the Bills to beat the Pats. I would much rather play the Titans. Actually, I don't know if the Patriots played like they did last week. I'd rather play the Patriots. Shit. But I think the Titans are a little bit better of a matchup for the Bengals. The only thing that concerns me is Josh Jacobs did kind of run rampant on a few plays, and Derrick Henry is coming back, and our D-line is a little banged up. Trey Hendrickson just had a concussion.
Right.
So that might be tough, but I think overall our offense is just going to they were, even though they got stopped to like 4 field goals, I mean the offense was still driving down the field every single drive. So I'm optimistic about it. My question, not so much for this year, but long term, is how long do you think it'll take Joe Burrow to win a Super Bowl? Because realistically, it's not happening this year.
It might be a month.
That's true, but I mean, I just don't see us beating like the Packers, dude. If we actually make it to the Super Bowl, you know,
dude, that guy can make anything happen.
Joe Burrow.
I already think he's in that category of just like, if you have Joe Burrow, anything can happen.
Dude, he truly is, bro. Like, he's got the Mamba mentality, bro. Yeah. It makes me so happy, though.
It's sick. You're blessed. Like, with this, he's literally, like you said it, the savior. He is the savior. No doubt, no bones about it at this point. I think there's a good chance that I think they're staring at an AFC Championship bid and possibly an upset against the Bills or the Chiefs.
I think so too. I mean, we beat the Chiefs in the regular season, like with all their guys too. You know, it wasn't like they rested anybody.
AFC, Chiefs in the postseason at Arrowhead at home, and the AFC Championship game is a lot different than week 17. So
yeah, very, very different. I do think that if we play in Arrowhead, we're probably fucked. So I'm just trying to be realistic, but also optimistic at the same time. I do like our matchup with the Titans though, so. It's going to be another anxiety-filled Saturday because the Bengals are the first playoff game of next round. So Saturday at 3:30. All right. I just saw that too. I wasn't even gonna comment. I don't know what this guy's on right now.
Nah, he wants attention.
Yeah.
It's okay.
All right. Anyway, next up, Patriots Bills. Not so much of a game. I think the Bengals Raiders might have been the best playoff. I think the Bengals game and the Cowboys game were the 2 most entertaining playoff games we've had so far.
Yeah.
But the Pats Bills, I mean, what a blowout, dude. The Bills just absolutely stomped on them the entire game. The first team in NFL history to go a postseason game without punting the ball. 7 drives, 7 touchdowns. That's nuts. It just doesn't even seem real. Like against the Pats. Against the fucking Bill Belichick led defense, like
I think the Bills are gonna upset the Chiefs.
I do too. I honestly do too. They look
like they're good enough.
Because I was kind of thinking during that game, I was like, damn, I look like a dumbass now for taking the Patriots to go to the Super Bowl, but you look like a genius. Shit. I think they might.
Yeah.
I really do. Because I mean, what? They're like 2.5-point underdogs.
I think so. Probably. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't checked the line yet.
The only thing that's scary for me is, again, like you said, Arrowhead. I don't know if they can get it done in Arrowhead in playoffs, but if they play like that, shit, they can do anything.
Yeah. Chiefs are going to choke. Calling it now.
Do you think with the Patriots loss, do you think Bill Belichick will win another Super Bowl with Mac Jones at quarterback?
That's tough, man. I mean, Mac Jones is pretty good year 1, but like, he was really handicapped in a lot of ways. Like they had that one really good stretch during the middle of the season, and then they kind of tapered off, and they really only beat bad teams that last like 4 or 5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just kind of, I don't know. Mac Jones wasn't as good. I don't know. It was kind of weird.
You're right. He kind of started out like slightly above average, and then during that span, it was like everybody was like that 7-game span. Everybody was going off. And then he kind of regressed back to his like normal good rookie state instead of just like playing out of his mind, you know?
Right. Now, maybe we'll see when Mac Jones takes his full form in 2 years.
That's what I'm thinking is I think it's 100% yes that he will win one with Mac Jones. The timeline is what I don't know. I think I'll give it like 5 years. If he hasn't won one within 5 years, then I don't think Bill's going to win another one.
Right. And I mean, the clock's ticking. He's in his 70s.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. For him specifically, like he's got to do it soon if he wants to do it with Mac Jones. Because I think Mac Jones will be in the league longer than Belichick. So
Easily.
at least at this point right now. But he did not look great in that playoff game, which I mean is somewhat expected as a rookie in the playoffs, but it's hard to make that an excuse because I mean, look at Joe Burrow. Even though he's not a rookie, that was his first playoff game, and he went off. Like, so I don't know what to take of that. It's somewhat expected as the rookie on the road in a big game, but yeah, I don't know. Shout out the Bills though. Shout out Bills Mafia too, dude. Their stadium was insane, bro.
They were going off. No, and what was crazy is that like I tweeted it too. Bills were playing like it was 50 degrees. Patriots were playing like it was 5.
Yeah, fire tweet, honestly, underrated tweet.
We didn't get not get enough love for that, in my humble opinion. But no, like it was insane. Like Bills just showed up. They covered the spread. They covered the over by themselves.
Yeah, literally. Speaking of the temperature, though, that game was the second coldest game in Bills history. It was 7 degrees with a -5 degree wind chill, which I could not imagine as a Texan just sitting outside in the cold like that with the wind and everything. But man, that was the best crowd I've seen all year, like across any sports. They were, I mean, I guess Arrowhead might compete, but they were going nuts in Buffalo.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was sick. All right.
Next up, we got Eagles and Bucs. The Bucs, of course, won that one 31-15, as most of us expected. A 2-possession win. Could have been more if it wasn't for that 2-point conversion. But I don't know. This is really what I expected. I don't think there was really anything different, nothing out of the norm in this game. It was just the Bucs playing like the Bucs.
Yeah, the Eagles who we thought they were, and that was not good enough to compete in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. They didn't beat a single good team. I don't think they beat a team with a winning record this year. I think that was the stat.
Yeah, you're right. You told me that like last week, I think.
And Tom Brady just showed up and he's like, I this is what I do. I win playoff games, and they kicked ass. But I think the only question here now is how far can Brady take this big up Bucs team? Because now they lost Tristan Wirfs in that game, who's an all-pro tackle.
Yeah, he's really good.
They already have Chris Godwin out for the year. Antonio Brown is gone, famously.
Mike Evans even is just now coming off an injury. He might still be a little.
Yeah, Mike Evans is banged up. Gronk was banged up early in the year. I think Gronk's in full force right now, though. They're
gonna have to start relying on Scotty Miller and Tyler Johnson.
I think that their secondary is back up to par. I think they're healthy again finally, because there was that stretch in the middle of the season this year where everyone was hurt in the secondary. Yeah. They got Herb Dean back, and they have is Carrollton back?
I'm not sure, honestly.
Carrollton the third, whatever. Did Villa Vea get hurt too?
I don't think so.
Okay, I
don't remember him going down. Like at least in that game.
Maybe I'm just blank. Maybe he was just because he was hurt last year. That's why I thought. Last year in the playoffs he was hurt. No, so they're a little banged up. So that's my main concern about the Bucs. And it's just like, can Tom Brady will it with the squad?
So I got the Buccaneers injury list pulled up. So, oh boy. All right, so not all of these are out. So we got Shaquille Barrett injured, Jamal Dean questionable, Mike Evans still banged up but playing, Ryan Jensen the center banged up, Ronald Jones out, Sean Murphy Bunting the cornerback questionable, Brashad Perryman banged up, Jason Pierre-Paul banged up, Keyshawn Vaughn banged up. Jesus, why Tom Brady's on the injury list? What?
Yeah, Tom Brady's fine.
Oh, this was before the Eagles game.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So now there's even more. All right. Well, anyway.
Keyshawn Vaughn looked fine during that game. That man came out of nowhere. But Fournette's still out, and Levante David's out.
That's a big one too, David.
That's a big one. So
they are a little banged up. I mean, because everybody the preseason the talk was like, oh, this is the same Bucs team that went to the Super Bowl, like literally identical.
Yeah.
But it's going to be tough, especially with all these injuries. I mean, it already would be tough to repeat with the same team, but I mean, I think it's going to come down because they're facing who? They're playing the winner of the Rams Cardinals game, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I think the Bucs could be either one of those teams, even with being banged up. I just think the Packers are going to be too much to handle. Packers are too damn good. All right.
They're pretty freaking good.
They're pretty fucking good, yeah.
Oh, man, I should have put a future on the Packers at the beginning of the season.
Didn't you pick them to win it all? I know you had them in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
you picked them to win
it all. I picked Packers, Bills, and Packers to win it all before the season started.
That's the worst, dude. Oh! That is the worst. I feel you, though, because, like, whenever we did our NBA predictions, we did, like, everything, like Coach of the Year, MVP, Sixth Man of the Year, all that. I placed a bet on every single one that I said other than Tyler Harrow for Sixth Man of the Year. And Tyler Harrow for Sixth Man of the Year is the only fucking one that's going to cash. Like, if he loses that at this point in the season, he got injured. Like, that's really the only way.
Damn.
That's a bummer. But anyway.
It is what it is.
Yeah. On to the last game that we've seen so far of Wild Card Weekend. We got another one coming up in 7 minutes. So we got to get through this a little quick. Steelers, Chiefs, this one was about the same as that Bucs game. Went about as we expected. The Chiefs just blew them out 42-21. And sports betting wise, I was on Steelers plus 12.5 and the under 46. So that was not a great night for me last night. But what were your plays?
I stayed away after that Cowboys game.
Good decision. Yeah, because I was like, oh, Steelers, 12 points? Fuck yeah, let's do it.
I was originally on Steelers, and I was like, wait, the Steelers suck. And
they're so bad.
Like, I'll bet the Chiefs, and then I just didn't do it.
They're so bad. It makes no sense. Like they were basically like the Eagles of the AFC. Like they just didn't belong in the playoffs. Worse. I mean, yeah, you're right. I agree.
Big Ben even said it himself. He's like, we literally have no chance to win this game.
I thought that was weird that he did that. I thought he may be trying to like reverse psychology, hype his guys up, you know?
Yeah, it didn't. He was being serious.
Yeah, he just knew that was his last game of his career. He's done. Yeah, anyway, though, my main takeaway from that is, well, I mean, really the Chiefs are the Chiefs in the postseason. You know, like they look like we thought they could and not how we thought they would during that little momentary lull in the season when they were like, what, 3-4 at one point?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Chiefs are back to being the Chiefs. Oh my God, the Bills game is going to be such a good game, dude. I mean, you never know, though. I thought the Bills and the Patriots would have been like the game of the playoff weekend. Dead wrong, like complete opposite.
Yeah, that screamed like close game to me. And then
exactly,
Pats just not show up. But yeah, Chiefs are rolling. They're going at it. Steelers, we all saw Big Ben this year. We kind of figured that was going to happen.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's all the playoff games. You want to do some coach firing ratings?
Yeah, let's get it. So,
all right, let's make it quick.
Yeah, already a lot of coaching moves have been going on in the NFL around the league. So we're kind of just going to rank some of our head coach firings as to what we think was the best decision to fire, all the way down to the worst decision, as in they should not have fired them. So we got 6 guys here, ranging from Matt Nagy to David Culley. How do we want to do this? Do we want to go 1 through 6?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you already have yours?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you go ahead, because I'm still trying to think of a couple.
Oh, let's bounce off each other.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so Matt Nagy, that's a 10. That's a layup. We knew he was fired. We knew he was fired week 1.
Yeah, 100%. That's the best firing that you could have done. It should have happened a while ago.
He had to go. That's a 10.
I agree. And then, so wait, okay, are we doing it out of 10 then?
Oh, yeah, 1 to 10.
Okay.
And then also, shout out to the Bills for also firing Ryan Pace, or the Bears for also firing Ryan Pace, because that would have been a huge mistake, because there was buzz that they would keep Ryan Pace, but also fire Matt Nagy. Like, what the hell are you doing? Just clean shop and start over. But I don't know. Now they're tied to Justin Fields. Now this makes me think that Justin Fields is going to be a bust, which I already thought that.
He might. It's looking that way. He shows flashes, though, you know?
That freaking Steelers game, Monday Night Football, he was kick-ass. But ever since then, I mean, back to just being very mediocre.
Yeah. And then next up, we got Mike Zimmer. I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10, because I think it was time for him to to leave Minnesota, but I think he's still a good NFL coach. Like, I think he could go somewhere else and find success without a problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. Right on the nail on the head. That's a 7. They've just been there too long. They just gotta switch things up.
Yeah, it was time.
It was time. It's just one of those things. I do see Mike Zimmer. I don't think he'll be a head coach again this year, but I do think that he'll be either A, take a year off, or B, which is the more likely scenario, become a defensive coordinator again for like a year or two, do a really good job with that defense, and then get another head coaching job in a year or two. I don't know. He is kind of old. But
he still has a few, he has like at least like 5 to 10, good years left probably.
He has a decent amount of health problems too.
How old is he? I'm curious. Let's see.
Like Mike 67.
Mike Zimmer age 65, pretty close.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, I think though, I like what you said though, how he can go be a defensive coordinator for a couple years and get another head. I could see that happening for sure. I could definitely also see him take a year off.
Yeah. Or, I mean, I could also see him just become a defensive coordinator just for the rest of his career because how old he is.
And yeah, that's true. Less stress, a lot less responsibility.
A kick-ass opportunity for him because he'd be a great defensive coordinator.
I think that might be the best move, honestly, for him. Mm-hmm. Just take a defense because he would be a premier defensive coordinator too.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So, all right. Next up, we got Brian Flores. I'm gonna give this one like a 1, bro.
I'm gonna give it a 4.
4. I'll go 2. Actually, I go 2 out of 10. I don't think he should have been fired. I think they should have given him more time. But I mean, I guess they didn't get the results they wanted, so they're moving on. Like, I can't really knock him for that. But
it had more to do with his interactions with the rest of the coaching staff. I'm pretty sure the last month of the season, like, communication was pretty much halted.
Oh, I hadn't even heard of that.
Yeah, look it up when you get the chance. I mean, like, he legit stopped talking to the rest of his coaching staff.
That is weird.
And yeah, things got weird, and I don't know. I think the locker room might have just kind of he kind of checked out there, but he's still a really good head coach, and he'll probably get another head coaching position during this hiring carousel.
Yeah, I think so too. If not, I mean, shit, who knows, bro? I wonder if any of these guys are gonna jump down to college.
Nah, I doubt it.
I doubt it too. No. Any of these names, but it would be interesting to see.
Harbaugh might come back up though. He's got a lot of buzz. I
think he's 100% coming back up. Yeah, I think if Michigan won that game or even won the Natty, he would have stayed. But it's time for him to go. He got him to the playoffs, and that's what they wanted. And he beat Ohio State. That's what they wanted.
Going out on top like that.
Exactly. I think he might. Yeah. Well, yeah, because they got fucking clobbered in their last game.
Yeah. Nah, I'm very down to see NFL Jim Harbaugh again.
All right, next up, Vic Fangio. What do you think?
I'm gonna give this one an 8. I do think he kind of got shafted a little bit because I don't know. He never got a fair chance at the offense, which was awful the whole time he was there. The defense was always good there, he's always been a really good defensive guy. But they've had Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater his whole time there. So it's not like he got a very fair shot. But at the same time, maybe they wanted – he was still an older guy, still kind of a questionable head coaching hiring in the first place. Maybe they'll go – they want to go in a different, more young, more exciting direction.
Yeah, I'm going to go like a 6 out of 10 because I was 50-50 on Fangio as a head coach to begin with. But like you said, he's done well with the defense, and he hasn't really had much opportunity on offense because Drew fucking Lock. So I'll go 6 because I think it's fine to look for somebody else, but also he probably could have been given cause how long has he been there? Not that long, right?
It was third year.
Yeah, I was about to say year 2 or 3. So I think maybe one more season, but I also see it. So I'm closer in the middle at a 6.
The Broncos could have been a lot worse.
But yeah, it could have been a lot worse. You're damn right about that. It could have been they started 3-0. That helped them. Mm-hmm. All right, next up, we got Joe Judge, which I'm not even going to waste any time. I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. Get him out of there.
10 out of 10. Delusional. A bunch of Giants fans seem to really like him.
No, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. One of my closest friends is a Giants fan, and he hates Joe Judge and Gettleman with all of his heart.
Yeah. Just on the internet, I've seen a decent amount of Joe Judge love. But that was more towards the beginning, midway point of the season that's probably soured. And yeah, no, the guy went off the rails. I mean, his press conferences the last 3 or 4 weeks of the seasons were just straight up cartoons. Like, I don't know what he was saying. He sounded like Elmer Fudd up there, just spouting nonsense.
Yeah, there was a lot of nonsense just all around the Giants season this year. I mean, I know they dealt with a lot of injuries. And they also dealt with having Daniel Jones as their quarterback. But actually, they didn't even have Daniel Jones for half the time. Shit. Forgot about that. So I think without Judge, without Gettleman there, the Giants have some hope for the next few years. Not immediately, but they have some hope for the draft. And because, I mean, they have a pretty young team all around. So I think if they draft well this time, because they have the number 5 and the number 7 pick as it stands. So you can't really go wrong with 2 top 10 picks. Like, if they do, that's bad. So I give that a 10 out of 10, though. I think it was definitely time for Judge to get out of there.
You think they'll take a quarterback?
I do not. I think they'll probably go. This is a very line-heavy draft. So I think they go O-line with number 5. They get Evan Neal. And then I think they go D-line at number 7.
Okay.
My buddy that's a Giants fan is hoping that they just take 2 offensive linemen, 5 and 7, boom, boom. Because, I mean, a lot of their problems strain from – they had, like, arguably the worst offensive line in the league this year.
Right. Yeah.
So a lot of problems came from that. All right, last but not least, the Houston Texans. We got David Culley. What do you think?
Man, I'll give this one a 4. They won the same amount of games last year, or wait, were there 4 wins or 5 wins?
I think they had 4 last year. I don't know.
They had 4 last year. I know that. So I think they went 4-13 this year. They had the same amount of wins with Davis Mills and Tyrod Taylor as their quarterback. And they had Deshaun Watson last year. David Culley as their head coach with Davis Mills. So I think he deserved maybe a second year. I mean, but we always knew this. He was always a lame duck head coach.
Yeah.
I mean, even as soon as he got hired, everyone was like, what? Like the Ravens wide receiver coach just got hired.
Who the fuck is this guy? Yeah.
Texans pretty much gave up on this year for myriad of reasons. But so it kind of makes sense, but I do think he deserved another year because it's not like they're ready to win now.
Yeah, I'll go a 5 out of 10 right in the middle because I can see arguments for both sides, but I do like the points you brought up that, I mean, he fucking had some sort of success with Davis Mills at quarterback, even though they just had no expectations too, you know? So it's like, I don't know what they expect to come of this move though, you know? Like, do they expect to hire a big name like Harbaugh or something and that turn everything around for them? Like, I don't see what their end goal is with this, but so I'll give that a 5 out of 10 right in the middle. I see an argument for both sides on that one, but definitely no argument. We both agree the best firings of the season or the off season, I guess, is Matt Nagy and Joe Judge for sure. Matt Nagy takes the crown.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. All righty. Let's hit some love it or loathe it and round this out. All right. You want the first? Actually, I'll take the first batch. Or no, I'll go second.
Okay.
All right. So Dak Prescott says, credit to them when told the referees were throwing fans were throwing trash at referees in his post-game press conference.
I love it. I'm not going to say anything more about it. I just good. Dak's mad too. He's probably not going to get a single more roughing the passer call for shitting on the refs, but whatever. Screw him.
Yeah, for those that don't know, there were fans throwing trash, what looked like at the players at the end of the Cowboy game, but I guess it was the refs. So, all right, next up, Baylor basketball suffers back-to-back losses after holding the nation's longest win streak.
I loved it. We already talked about my betting woes on the end of that. So I just
you're on the shit end of that stick.
Yeah.
All right, and this one is just big news. Didn't want to talk about it in the episode, but it's just really the only major thing going on outside of playoffs. Novak Djokovic, his visa was canceled again, and he will not be able to defend his Australian Open title.
I loathe it. I don't want to talk about this. I'm tired of vaccine controversies.
Fair enough.
Over it.
All right, what we got?
All right, Formula One teams have began announcing reveal dates for their 2022 car designs.
I love it. So this is one of the years where in Formula One, every like eight or 9 years, they completely revise the rule book essentially, and the what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, the guidelines as to what the car can and cannot have, the technicalities of all that. So next year we're having completely new cars. So that'll be fun to see all the teams reveal their new designs and everything. Ferrari was the first one. I think they're going to be early February, and then the rest to follow soon after that. So it's always cool to see fast cars go vroom, you know?
Mm-hmm. And then, Patrick Mahomes threw 5 touchdowns in 10 minutes and 30 seconds of game time, fastest span in postseason history.
I loathe it. I'm scared of the Chiefs, bro. I would love it, but I loathe it because I'm scared. That's all I gotta say, dude.
Yeah. And then the Cowboys hold an NFL record with 11 straight playoff appearances without reaching the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, well, this is the one we already mentioned at the beginning, but I'm gonna go ahead and love it just because as a neutral fan of the Cowboys, I think it's kind of fun to watch the media, everything transpire in the media after shit goes down with them. So I'm gonna love that one. All righty. That's going to be it for this episode. I think we did a pretty good job of getting out of here right in time for the Rams-Cardinals game. So
you got a prediction?
Prediction? Let's go Rams 27, Cardinals 23.
Okay. Covering that spread. I like it.
Yeah, barely. Half a point.
I'm going to go Rams 27-13.
Okay. I like that as well. I would like a big win. Shit.
And then I also have a little parlay. AJ Green, anytime touchdown scorer. Cooper Kupp over 9.5 receptions, plus 644 odds.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah,
I like that.
Started, so he can't place it.
I took Van Jefferson plus 1,200 to be the first touchdown scorer.
Decent.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that one. All righty, though. We appreciate you guys stopping in for the first Monday episode. We're on our new schedule again. We're going to be live Monday and Thursday. Thursday will be just like normal, though. So we'll be back live on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, everything on Thursday. We'll see you guys then.